This is the INTEX XTR Deluxe Rectangular Above-Ground Swimming Pool Set, with the dimensions of 24 feet by 12 feet and a height of 52 inches. It's big, gray, and definitely stands out in the backyard. To give you a quick review, I want to share my real experience after putting it to use for over a month, including the setup, some common issues I ran into, and how my family and I have enjoyed it. When I was looking at pools for the backyard, I hesitated for a bit because I wondered if this above-ground set would actually be worth the investment. You know, above-ground pools sometimes have a reputation for looking a little cheap or being tricky to keep up, and they're just not the same as getting an in-ground one. But honestly, after a month with the INTEX XTR Deluxe in the ground, I feel pretty good about my choice, and I want to break down some of the key features and my honest thoughts. So, starting off with the shape, it's a classic rectangle with sturdy corners and that noticeable gray color. The size is the first thing that really blew me away. This pool is huge, big enough for my entire family and a bunch of friends to hop in at the same time. We actually had 12 kids in there during one church event, ranging from little 3-year-olds to teenagers, and everyone had space to spare. If you're looking for something that fits a real swim, some pool volleyball, or just relaxing with floats, this is pretty much perfect for it. The material is tough. The frame uses what the company calls galvanized steel, which basically means metal that's coated to help resist rust and last longer. INTEX also adds a powder coating, a sort of extra layer, so bad weather and sun don't wreck it right away. The walls are made from 3 layers of PVC, which is a strong plastic that holds up to all sorts of summer punishment. We've accidentally kicked, bumped, and launched a few toys into the sides, and so far, so good. I've read about some folks running into rust on the frame after a season or two, and while I haven't personally seen any yet, it's something to keep an eye on. The patch that comes with it for repairs is a nice touch too, but I haven't had to use mine. The setup process was way quicker than I expected. If you're worried about a bunch of tools or spending the whole weekend on assembly, don't be. The company has this easy lock system, which basically means the metal pieces snap together, no tools or pins required. I started right after breakfast, and by late morning, we were just about ready to fill it up. I definitely recommend making sure the ground is flat and as level as you can get it. I laid down some fresh topsoil and grass seed under where the pool sits to avoid muddy spots and to help with leveling, even though the pool does come with a basic tarp. To be honest, the ground tarp included isn't the toughest, and I've noticed it already starting to get a little fragile at the edges, but you might want to get a thicker one if your surface is rough. Water capacity is another plus. INTEX says it holds about 8,400 gallons, and when you're filling that up for the first time, it really hits you how much water that is. If you have any drought rules where you live, make sure to check. But for us, it was a breeze with the garden hose. The depth, 52 inches, makes it possible for adults to stand up easily, and the little ones can still have fun. Though I keep an eye on them, of course. For filtration, this pool set comes with what they call a crystal clear sand filter pump. If you haven't used this before, it means instead of using paper filters, you fill the pump with special pool sand, and it works to keep the water clean. Here's something I learned the hard way. Don't use play sand, even if it's cheaper or more convenient. I tried that at first, and the pump started having problems. The water flow slowed down, and it made a mess. Turns out, you actually need to use proper filter sand, which you can find at almost any pool store. Once I swapped that in, the pump worked smoothly and water turned crystal clear. If your water starts looking green or cloudy, like mine did after a few weeks, double-check your sand type and make sure you run the filter as recommended. The pump also hooks up to a chlorinator if you want to automate that part, which I'm a fan of. Maintenance overall is pretty manageable. I run the pump every day, skim the top when I see leaves or bugs, and do a chemical check with basic test strips for pH and chlorine. The liner is easy to vacuum, which is a bonus if you end up with dirt on the bottom. I check the sides and corners every week just to make sure no algae is building up. The pool cover works in a pinch, but I noticed it can snag and tear around the metal fasteners, so be a little gentle with it, especially if storms are in the forecast. I'm planning to upgrade to a heavier duty cover next year. I'd recommend storing the ladder and cover out of the sun if you're worried about plastic wearing down. The ladder that comes in the box is light and functional, but I wanted something a little more heavy duty, especially because we have a lot of younger kids and I need to make sure it's secure when no one is swimming. I got an upgraded ladder that locks into place, which makes me feel better about safety at night or when we're away. Style-wise, this pool actually looks better than I expected. The gray finish blends in well with our backyard, and the blue tile print inside the liner looks nice and clean. I've had a few friends drop by who honestly thought it cost way more than it really did. For what you pay, I think it feels like a solid upgrade over the round above ground pools I've seen before. From my experience, the biggest thing to keep in mind is the care and attention you need to give the pool. It's not a set it and forget it deal. You need to monitor chemical levels, clean the filter, and do general upkeep. But in return, you get a ton of use out of it during the summer months. It ended up being the main event during our backyard parties, and even on slow days, it's just perfect for relaxing and cooling off. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants more swimming space without paying for an in-ground pool, especially if you have kids or enjoy hosting bigger backyard get-togethers. It's perfect for families who want that classic pool experience, but need something easy to set up, move, or even store for winter. In conclusion, after having the INTEX Ultra XTR Deluxe set up in my backyard for a solid month, I feel great recommending it to anyone on the fence. There are little things like rust or flimsy plastic parts that you might have to fix down the line, and you'll want to watch that ground tarp and cover, but none of those issues have stopped us from enjoying the pool. You get a durable frame, a simple setup, and a space that's honestly big enough for all kinds of summer fun. That's my quick review of the INTEX Ultra XTR Deluxe Rectangular Above Ground Swimming Pool Set. If you have questions or want to share your own experience, make sure to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more reviews and backyard tips. Thank you for watching.